But how are you feeling? What's the mood? What's the energy today?
Dude, it's a good day. I feel good, man. I feel like we talk about it all the time, but I did my breathing technique this morning and had some really, really good breakfast. Got to wake up to no alarm. It's just a good Sunday, man. I hope the energy's feeling the same over on your realm.
Yeah, I needed that. I feel like it's your little human vitamin because I feel like I'm a little more like mellow today.
Uh-huh.
So I love that you're coming with the energy because I just came off 2 doubles and the next I feel like the day following the heavier workload days, I'm always a little slower to like lift my energy. And I think I've also just been in a space where that I've really been introspectively diving into something I want to talk about today, being the sort of the starving artist idea and why, for me, for example, I work double shifts. I work probably, let's say, like anywhere from 40 to 50 hours a week while still pursuing music, pursuing creating. What are your thoughts on the starving artist mentality? How does that play a role in your everyday life?
Dude, I don't see a world where so when I look at the term starving artist, I think of like my mind on a more broad scale, it simply goes to how bad do you want it? Like that question is very prevalent when I think of the starving artist. And because a starving artist is someone who wants to achieve their goals very, very bad, who is going to sacrifice a lot of things in their life, who is working their ass off to get what they want. And starving artists, there's kind of like this feeling around the music world that you have to be in that mindset to make it. And you have to just drop everything and put all your eggs in one basket into making music, and then you're going to be successful. I think, in my eyes, a starving artist is someone who, like, smartly, with keeping their mental health and their physical health in mind, a starving artist is someone who does work 40 hours but still continues to grind their ass off once they get off of work and put their energy into creative outlets and make music and do content and film podcasts, even while they're working. That, to me, is a true starving artist, because not only are you working to provide for yourself at a fundamental level by getting money and being able to pay your bills and feed yourself and the people that rely on you, but you're also taking the energy that most people just say, all right, I'm done with work. I can just relax, watch TV, throw on a Netflix series and just call it a day. Where
Right.
the starving artist is sacrificing all that for the majority. And yeah, and they say, screw that. I can watch that at a later date. I'm going to work on music. I'm going to make my next best song. I'm going to make 10 videos today that are going to go crazy on social media. That is the starving artist. But with all that being said, I think it is still super important to find moments within your busy day to remind yourself that you do need breaks here and there. Do you feel that way as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And I find that in building this, it almost takes a lot of resilience, because I find that there can be days, for me personally, there's definitely days where it feels harder than others. And it's something that we've talked about on the pod before, but how can I regain perspective? How can I fix my vision and the angle in which I look at my life and find the gratitude in the journey. Because it's the journey, and the starving artist idea to me comes from this idea that you gotta go all in and barely be scraping by and doing all these different things that don't feel super abundant or easy. Like, it's this idea that it has to be really hard to make it as an artist. And I don't totally believe in that.
Right.
Of course, there's, obstacles and there's going to be bumps in the road. But as artists, we're creators. And just like we get to create the life that we want to live, we also get to create how that experience feels as we're creating it.
Absolutely.
Dude. We have the choice to make it an experience that feels really hard, or just like we have that power, we can also make it an experience that is so fun and expansive and all these other things,
Dude,
and
you just gave me goosebumps, bro. Because building off of that real quick, I don't want to cut you off, but bro, you truly, everybody who wants it is gonna be hungry, but you have the choice to tell yourself that you're starving or you're full. Like, period. And by what I mean by that is that while you are working your ass off for your goals and being that starving artist, you can be full and be grateful and be aware that you're on the journey and be thankful you have opportunities to work. Or you can look at it like, damn, I'm not successful yet. Like, I'm so fucking hungry and I'm starving, but there's no food in front of me. Bro, you have the choice to have that perspective. I think that's the craziest, coolest thing. I think that's when you put it into play,
Yeah, and I feel like that's the key too, because I think for me, honestly, like, I'm in a place where I'm almost feeling the latter, the sort of, I'm lacking a little bit of gratitude today, and I'm lacking a little bit of the perspective. And just by talking about it, and I don't know if you relate to this, but when I talk about a feeling or something I may be going through, it almost always brings me back into the space of getting to see it clearly and the gratitude that I mentioned, and just like, dang, my life is actually really cool. And we're sitting down to create this podcast in the midst of grinding. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the grind, it's the journey, it's the thing that people love to sort of almost not talk about enough, like what it actually is like in the grind itself. And there's some documentation of the big artists that we may look up to or hope to be in a similar space one day, but there's not enough realness capturing the journey,
right?
In my opinion. There's sometimes that can feel like a disconnect. But really quick, let's introduce the pod right quick. This is the Baltz Brothers podcast. I'm Sunchiami. This is the Baltz Brothers podcast. Welcome back.
Welcome.
It's a new day. It's a new vibe.
Episode.
Who am I sitting with today?
I don't even know what episode this is, man. My name is Baltzy. I am one of the Baltz brothers. Hey, and
hey, boy.
And we just keep it straight up on this podcast, man. We don't want to. I think our goal for the listeners is to give you an insight, and you're kind of touching on it, like documentary style. We want to document our journey, but also just have conversations with each other as well. Me and my brother Ethan, we are trying to accomplish a bunch of goals and be super relevant in the music world, the content creation space, and be able to just impact as many people as we can positively. And I think it's super awesome that whoever's watching this, found the podcast, whether if you saw it through our social media, you saw it on YouTube. I'm glad you're here and get to sit down with this conversation, because we have a couple of things on mind. We already talked about the starving artist concept a little bit, but I want to dive if you want to keep talking about the starving artist concept, we for sure can. But further down, like what we have planned for today, I want to talk about some marketing, the social media world that we live in, and how those things kind of correlate and how it's almost like a sick game that you have to play to be successful, or maybe so you think. And yeah, we just have so many things we're going to talk about on this podcast. So if you want to drop a comment and we're going to respond to everybody, tell us where you're watching
Oh
from,
yeah.
and welcome to the beginning. Even though this is like episode 6, man, we are simply just getting started. This is the beginning parts of everything, dude, and it's so cool.
It's the beginning. And for those that are here, welcome. Thank you for tuning in for
Absolutely.
real. I wanna kind of jump back into the starving artists, overarching theme a little bit, because I just feel there's so much importance in relaying experience, things that we've gone through in life, and messages in a way that is almost a bit more universal, so people can truly apply things and hear through our experience, through our stories, and be able to formulate their own blueprint on how they want to navigate being an artist, being a creator, being a human on the planet, right? And there's lots of advice and information, and the part that really stinks to me is that a lot of people speak on things like it's the only way. But what I'm here to say is that there are so many ways that life can happen to anybody, even if we're all creators or we're all doing something kind of similar. The journey and the path that we take to get there 100% of the time is just going to be different. And what I'm here to say is I took the advice of someone and of a lot of people that were like, yo, quit the day job, go all in. That's what it means to go all in, is quitting the day job and totally focusing on the art and letting that provide. Just go for it. So I did that, and that was in 2021, I want to say. I didn't work any jobs. I relied solely on music and the art form to provide and be my number one primary source of income. And I did that for, I want to say, 3 years, from 2021 to probably 2024 ish. Super amazing, but I learned a ton in that time. And one thing I learned was that it wasn't for me to rely on my art to survive. That didn't quite work for me, just because it put my art in the tight ropes, like up in the corner when maybe I didn't feel like creating. And there's a balance to this, right? There's a balance to when I am called to go outside into nature, reset, recharge. And just like there is when I'm like, okay, today, let's get in the studio, even though I'm not super inspired yet. A lot of the times, action is what inspires me. But what I found was when it came to, okay, we got to eat tomorrow, like this is important, we need to survive, it didn't feel good to put all of that pressure on the creative part of myself, because I've always allowed my creativity to flow a little bit more. Even if I'm getting in the studio every single day, there wasn't this pressure on the craft that was needing to survive, and so it became really heavy for me, and it felt like a tight strain on on the creativity. And that just didn't quite flow for me. It didn't. But for some people, quitting the day job, going all in works. And I think the reason it works is because they have a clear vision of how they want to go about it.
Right.
And I think that's the most important part. For me, I took the advice without having the blueprint of exactly how I wanted to go about providing through my art. And that's kind of the point I want to highlight is whatever it is that you or I or whoever is listening decides to the journey that they choose to trek on, having a little bit of a plan. I'm a very spontaneous person, but a plan would have benefited me completely, and spending time like mapping out the vision would have helped entirely, because I did have a little bit of a plan, right? But I tried it and it didn't quite work for me. So now I am, working, providing the financial stability through jobs. And that works for me right now. But I want your perspective on this. Like, what are your thoughts as far as working the 40 hours a week and still building the career? Like, you said something the other day that was really cool, just about how working the job until the job is the only thing in the way of the craft feels like a good balance for you. Can you speak on that a little further? Because I love that idea.
Yeah. So this is something that I actually heard through somewhere on social media. I think it might have been a YouTube video, and it was more so based around just the perspective that you should have, that we're talking about the starving artist mindset. And that one line stuck with me. He's like, keep your day job until your day job is the only thing holding you back. And I think that is a really good perspective to have. And it's kind of, I feel like when your career gets to the point, your music career or whatever your passion, your side hustle, your hobby is that you are doing on the side, I feel like it'll be pretty clear and obvious when that starts to take place. And you're finding success through, let's just stick with music because that's what we're pursuing. You're finding success through your music. Your streams are going through the roof. You're getting opportunities to go travel to different cities and perform. People are asking you, where are you going to perform at? When's the tour? Like, you started your merch. Maybe you're selling a bunch of merch online, and your songs are hitting the algorithm. Like, it's catching traction on social media. And I think it'll just become clear, like one day, that, like most things do, that it's time to quit your job and do it full time. And I think for me personally, my perspective right now, just starting my job coming out of college full time, working 40 to 45 hours a week. And then in a few months out of the year, I'll be working up to like 60 hours a week. It's gonna be new because I've never worked full time because I've been a college student for my entire life up until now. So it's gonna be different. Like, finding the time to record is more sparse now, but at the same time, the time and energy that you spend at your job is providing you with relevant things for your mind to build off, to be creative. It's providing you with experiences. It's providing you with problem solving and utilizing your mind, and you interacting with other humans, seeing things take place, living life, and having a job. Those are all things that are going to feed into your creativity. So when you do have that 2.5 hour time frame to sit down and work on your craft or be creative or work on building your website, whatever it is, you are going to be influenced by all the things that happen throughout your day or throughout your week. And it's going to help you be more creative than the flip side, where you were working full time on music, where you had the ability to sit down for 8 hours 5 hours, 3 hours a day, every single day during the week because you had to, because that's what was providing. And that limits the going outside and interacting with people and, you know, having those experiences throughout your daily life because you're so locked in on your music that it's hard, almost hard to feel your creativeness because you're not experiencing life. And I truly believe that those things are directly related because when I am lazy and I'm not doing shit, I don't feel creative. But if I'm doing stuff and staying busy and
Absolutely.
then come to my laptop and my microphone, ideas are just flowing out of me because I have all this stuff that my mind is processing. So when I try to write lyrics or come up with a melody to a song, it's like boom, there it is. Like I didn't have to try to come up with lyrics. They were already in my brain from whatever's going on throughout
Right.
my life.
100%. Yeah. Art definitely draws on real life experience. I find if, like you said, and some people can be cooped up and that's how they like tap into their
For
creativity.
sure.
You and I sound pretty similar. You know, when I get to go on this amazing hike, you know, right off the ocean and I'm exploding about it, that's the creative juices, you know what I'm saying? It's like the fuel in the gas tank for creativity for me and getting to go talk to people in real life and connecting and doing all these things is it's I feel like that's one of the probably the most potent fuel for my creativity that I can put in the tank, and it makes me want to sort of pivot into the working 40 hours a week. But and I guess at the time you were, because I know this is a newer venture, being a full-time college student with a ton on your plate and still managing to hit a milestone that most artists don't get to experience in a lifetime, which is 100,000 streams on one song being Baby Mitts. Talk to me about one, how that feels, two, the strategy and the content strategy that you employed to be able to come across 100,000 streams on like maybe like your fifth song ever. And yeah, what did that look like for you, bro? It's crazy.
Bro, it's absurd. You can think of every word that means the same thing as crazy and absurd and apply it to this situation and it will apply. Like there my feelings associated with trying to conceptualize one of my songs, one of my like I think it might be the fifth song or fifth or sixth or something like that that I ever put out is just absolutely insane and it only shows me that what I'm doing is what I'm supposed to be doing and that I am already reaching
Yes.
my goals that I have set for myself and they're just expanding. But and it's so fulfilling. Like I try not to think about it too much because I don't want to get too caught up in like I don't want to grow this ego like that I'm so good at making music or I'm like so talented.
You're so cool.
Yeah, that I'm this crazy person because I'm normal as shit. Like you said, I was a college student. Like I was trying to figure out what I want to spend my free time on, and I gravitated towards music. And then I made a few songs that I absolutely loved and I believed in, and my strategy was backed on that love that I had for the song that I made because I knew if I love something so much to the point where I could listen to it on repeat, that other people are gonna at least give it a chance and listen to it once. And then some people will fall in love with it like I did. And sure enough, that faith that I had in my creation is was so much fuel that I I just put so much effort into content creation. And this is my strategy. I'll break it down for you guys who are interested. I'm not saying it's the best one. You can take bits and pieces from this advice and apply it to yours to see if it works. Not saying this is the only way to do it, because it's absolutely not. And there's pros and cons to this as well. So some of the pros is that it reaches a ton of people. One of the cons is it takes a lot more time than typical advertising, where you just put some money into it and then your videos get pushed into front of people for you. But the strategy is, I had a TikTok account and I was posting on that for like a week. And then I made 6 other TikTok accounts, same exact profile picture as the one that's on my Spotify, my Apple Music, same exact bio. Put the link if you can. I think you have to have like 1,000 followers to put a link in your bio, but if you can, put it in there. So 7 TikTok accounts, boom, all copied and pasted, like same exact layout. Just change up the username a little bit. Put all your username and passwords onto like a Word document or your notes on your phone. Because you'll get logged out of them for whatever reason. TikTok just logs you out like every once in a while. So make sure you have your passwords written down and stuff. And then for the content, I would realize, looking through other music creators' content, that certain videos would do well, and get the hook of your song, get that onto TikTok. You can do that through your distributor. If you use DistroKid, you can literally select the time frame that you want to be pushed out onto every social media platform. So if someone looks up your song, that's the part that'll play. So find like the hook of your song, maybe the most catchy part, and then post a video so you got the sound of that part of your song. And then on all your accounts, use that same exact part of your song. Film basically the exact same video and copy and paste captions and throw them into your notes, and captions and like that go on the screen with the text, and the caption that goes in the actual description of the video, and have those in your notes. And then do 7, because you have 7 accounts, do 7 different takes of the exact same video and just do it a little bit different. And maybe you can switch up the captions between each video to see which one works better, and post that same thing, that same part of your song, and do that twice a day, because that's what I did, twice a day. So 14 videos a day seems like a lot, but once you get this process down, you copy and paste the captions, everything, boom, 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 you switch accounts, it can be done in 15, 20 minutes. And post all those videos. I think around noon is a good time to post the first video, and then later in the day around 5:30 to 6 is when I would post my second video. And I did that for, I can't remember the exact number, but it was in the 200-ish range days in a row on TikTok. And
Crazy.
Total for Baby Mitts, the song that has 120,000 streams on Spotify right now, which is a lot. But if your song is good, it can be way more than that number if you do exactly what I just told you to do. And I posted, I think 900 and like 920 TikTok videos of Baby Mitts.
Yeah, crazy.
So just a crazy amount of volume, and it was the same part of the song, just the hook. And through posting that content, you figure out what works well. You figure out what people are interacting with more than the other videos. So start to do those more often. And once you start to get traction on your song, that's just motivation to keep going even further. And then once you hit the algorithm a couple of times and start getting in front of the right people on TikTok, and you can post the same exact videos on YouTube Shorts, Instagram, blah, 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 whatever, all the platforms. You start getting into the Spotify algorithm, which is a whole nother thing that I could talk about. But that's the whole goal, is through these videos, you get people to your Spotify song or whatever they stream it on. And once you get in the Spotify algorithm, buddy, your song takes off. buddy. But that was a strategy. It's hard. It was hard as shit to do some days. Like, I definitely did not want to make content some days, but I held myself to it. And I promise, if you do the same and you have a good song, bro, there's literally not a shot that it won't work. Like, you'll get streams. I promise, bro.
Yeah, well, and a couple of key points too. You know, the method is free.
Yes.
It just costs some time. The second thing is, like, you are championing. That's a hard word to say.
Championing. That's a lot of syllables that sound the same.
Something's off. But you are pushing a song that, like you said, you love, you're excited about, and that's probably step one, right? You gotta actually like the song that you're promoting to be able to post 900 videos.
You gotta love it, bro.
You gotta love it, because you're hearing "Come get you a fix." I know,
dude,
like, more than anybody's gonna hear it.
You have
you know what I'm saying?
Clue, dude.
And that's really step one, is making the good piece of art, music, whatever it is, and then go crazy. You know, that's what I'm learning here, and I've gotten to see firsthand, because I've always struggled a little bit with putting out content, and I love the songs. But here's the catch with that. If I'm not championing, dang, I keep going for that word. I just can't say it today. I don't know what that is. Like the ing part is just gone. It, like, doesn't work in my mouth right now. But for me, I've made songs that I love that I'm like, yo, why do these not have 100,000 streams or 1 million streams? And a lot of it feels like it's because I was not putting in the time to show people that I love this. So why would they put in the time to show people that they love it? You know,
bro,
what I'm saying?
Hold on. That is the perfect way to look at it. Bro, it's not marketing or content creation. It's showing people that you made something that you love. Look at it that way, and bro, you'll want to do it. Bro, I promise. Like, think about the person on the other side of your screen watching your video as your best friend, or somebody that you absolutely love in your life. You are showing them that song and you are excited about it. Bro, everybody on the other side of your video is your best friend, and you are excited to show them your music that you love, because they'll probably love it too. That's how you gotta look at it, bro.
Man. And it's like, it's like when the people that don't love it, chances are they're not gonna say nothing. They're just gonna keep scrolling, whatever, and it's on to the next one. But if they give you a stream, if they hit that play button a couple times and they're just like, whatever, it's still a play. It's still like, they might tell, you know what I'm saying? It can just compound so quickly. And like you said, it started on TikTok, but you were driving traffic to Spotify very specifically and intentionally. And I remember watching it with you, watching Baby Mitts go from 10,000 plays to getting 2,000 plus plays every day.
Yeah.
It was hitting that Spotify sector where they start to push it into people's recommended and different, places. And again, it's just about having the good product, showing people that you love it. I love what you said about treating it like it's your best friend that you show, because for me, I literally, that's almost so much the reason why I started making music, was to show my homies, like, yo, look what I made. That was the coolest part, and treating it like everybody's your homie and just doing it. I love that mindset perspective, because to post 900 videos, there has to be a level of almost like insanity a little bit.
Yeah.
But the belief in what you're talking about, because imagine if you posted it 1,800 times, where would Baby Mitts be at today? You know what I'm saying? And it's sort of that idea, the more that we push it, the more that someone who has never heard that song, even if it's a year old, is going to find a new song. For me, when I find something new, it could be from 2006, but if I've never heard it, that's a new song. It's going on a
Oh yeah.
playlist. You know, and there's so much music out there that we're yet to discover. And people that are landing on this podcast, go check out Balti and Senchiami. What we get to create together are things that we love. I love my music. I've always created this weird dynamic with social media to where it's hindered me from showing all these people that I love what I've created. To this day, I still think there's music that I have out that I'm like, it's great. I wouldn't have put it out if I didn't feel like it was great for where I was at in that moment, you know? And it's a beautiful thing to get to witness my brother implement a strategy that literally propels the song into a place where it has 100,000 plus streams. And so many of those were people that were just repeating it over and over again, playing it. And that to me is the coolest part, because that, like, these songs, and we talked about this previously as well, none of these songs are perfect, but they're art, and people will grab those things. Bro, someone made a Baby Mitts hoodie based on a single that you created, bro. That is so tough, man.
Bro, it's so cool. Like we're literally living the dream, and I'm so glad that I get to share it with you too. Like for everybody listening, like I wrote the lyrics to the song and sing, but you have vocals in the hook. Like that, bro, you're on the song. You also mix the vocals as well. Like it's so cool that, you know, we're both a part of it. And you talked about like somebody making a hoodie off of it, bro, being able to inspire other people too, just from something that I said, well, this beat I found is kind of cool. Let me try and make a song on it in my apartment bedroom in college, like bored as shit. Like I just had a mic and it had the free version of Ableton on my computer that only it limits you to like 6 tracks or something like that. So, bro, you truly don't need a crazy setup to start too. And once you make something you love, dude, post it. And if it doesn't get good feedback, make a new song and post that one and move on. Like it's all right. You're going to get better. You're going to get better at content creation. You're going to get better at writing songs or what the heck ever your small business is, bro. Just keep posting at it and believing in yourself. Cause at the end of the day, like if you took all my streams away, my songs are still freaking awesome to me. I love them so much. And that's what you got to sit on and use as motivation and be grateful about, because bro, if you're not doing it for yourself in some sort of fashion, then you're probably lying to yourself, because bro, it's fun. You and I, we both get fulfillment from making songs and enjoying it, but it's the majority of the fulfillment comes from sharing it with other people.
Yeah, dude. And kind of what you said too, it's just fun. I have so much fun getting to create. And bro, it's just, in today's day and age, we have probably the easiest access to marketing and promoting than we have ever had ever. Even just 15 years ago, it was buying a billboard or like a newspaper ad. I don't know. Like
word
bro,
of mouth, physical. Like actually like going places, meeting people, you get in the right room all of a
hustling
sudden.
CDs.
Yeah, it's so easy now. And there's so much information that you can get on YouTube too. Like that's where I live, dude. I get so much inspiration, ideas, and strategy from YouTube. That is, I wouldn't have had 7 TikTok accounts if I didn't watch some YouTube video saying that that's what somebody else did. Like, that was not my original idea. And there's so much free game on the internet. It's crazy. But you have
Yes.
to pick and choose what you implement too. So you can get overwhelmed by too much information.
Yeah, and you said something that was really important. There's so many ways to do it. So taking bits and pieces and creating your own journey, like now it's a part of Baltzy's journey to have the 7 TikTok accounts and posting 900 times for this thing. Like that's something that's a part of your game now that you're going to get to give that gem, to all the up and coming artists and people that want to create a life for themselves. And, it's like I think the important thing to note too is there, and maybe actually what I was about to say might not be true, because I was going to say not all songs got 100,000 streams, but I would say you haven't posted 900 videos for all the songs.
No.
So you couldn't even, like, we couldn't even mathematically say that doesn't work every time, because I'm sure it probably works every time. You post 900 videos for anything,
Bro,
it's probably going to get seen.
anything.
Like,
Literally anything.
Yeah.
Bro, if you do the math, like on TikTok, when you post, you can create, the cool thing about TikTok, you can create an account right now and post your first video and it's going to get like 200 to 300 views. Bro, that is 300 people, 300 that just looked at whatever you posted, at least for a split second. They might not watch the full thing, but that's 300 people that were free just watching your video. And that's the first one you ever post. And bro, I could almost guarantee you that if your song is good quality and mixed well and is in some sort of, like, comes from some sort of genuine place and you love it, bro, I will guarantee you if you post that many times, it will go crazy. Cause bro, so you brought up a good point, because I posted on TikTok about 20 times, whatever it was, for Baby Mitts. I've not posted anywhere near any of that for any of my other songs. Like, I think past that, it might be like 200 videos for a song. And bro, if I did that same thing for all my songs, which would be impossible, that would just take way too much time. I would not have time to do that for all like 16 of my songs. But dude, it will work, bro. And yeah, you'll get some hate comments. You'll get videos that get 80 views and no comments. Like, it's gonna happen. But if you're shooting 920 shots, bro, you're gonna sink some shots, bro. They're gonna fall in.
Yes. Yes. Period. It just increases the odds, bro. Like, you throw up that many shots, you can have never shot a basketball in your life, and you're gonna hit
You're
some
gonna
shots.
make at least like 50. If you've never shot a basketball
At
in your
least.
life, if you've never done content creation in your life, and you post 900 videos, you're gonna get way better at it really quick. And you're also gonna hit and get some people to listen to your songs and get comments and feedback on the videos you're posting. You're gonna hit some shots, dude. They're gonna fall in. Like, and
Yeah,
that's the beautiful thing about it, dude. Like, you truly don't have to have any sort of marketing degree or knowledge. You just have to have a plan and stick to it and post on social media, bro. All of us know how to post on social media. We grew up in this social media landscape, dude. And I think that's a tool that we can choose to use or not use, but it's almost vital to, if you're starting from ground zero, I don't see any other way that an artist can be successful if they don't have some sort of social media presence. There's only a handful of like really huge artists that don't be posting on social media at all. And that's just because they're huge. And they can be like, yo, what's up? Dropped an album. Bye. Won't talk again for 3 years.
Right. Right. But those artists are also, they're backed by labels. They're not,
Right.
bro, I don't know a single independent artist in the world that is not actively dominating social media. That's that big. There isn't a single one. Those artists that can, like, you think of like a Kendrick, a Frank Ocean, a Travis Scott. Like, maybe they're on social media. I don't know. But from what I know, especially I'll just use Kendrick, that dude does not pop out and is just making videos of himself like in the studio. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't exist. It's not there. But he also came up in a time before social media was like dominating the content and the attention span and all these things. And bro, again, built a huge following like right before the social media. And I promise, bro, I don't know a single independent artist that has not dominated the social media marketing promotion in a really strong way. It just doesn't exist. That's not the world it is anymore. You can still go sell CDs on the corner, but bro, you just said something that really, I was like, wow, that's so true about the TikTok thing. For me personally, I post a video, I get 200 views. I'm like, damn, that didn't work. Bro, you were like, nah, that's 200 people that just viewed it.
Oh.
Think about if I went and stood on a corner. Bro, I might not even see 200 people in 8 hours of time, but I could post probably 100 videos in 8 hours, and I'm gonna 100x how many people I could reach on a corner in any given
Straight
place.
up.
And bro, and that really puts some perspective on not being upset that it only got 200 views, but according to the strategy, for example, let's take our podcast TikTok. If we took our podcast TikTok and we make a Baltz Brothers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, post the same video 10 times, they all get 200 views instead of just posting it once and it only gets 200 views on one account. Chances are that 200 views came from 200 different people just scrolling, because TikTok is massive. So instead of 200 views, that's 2,000 views. Now that is 2,000 opportunities for each one of those streams to convert into a subscriber, someone that actually tunes in. And let's say out of 200, let's say 2 people convert, right? I feel like that's being gracious, especially because it's just so much scrolling and super fast. Let's say we get 2 out of 200, but if we take it to 2,000, then we get 20 people. Bro, if in 8 hours of time, we get 20 new subscribers, that starts to compound too, because they're like, yo, I found this new podcast. They tell their friends. And then instead of 20, it becomes 40, and then 40 becomes 80, and it starts to snowball. And it's like, man, I know what I'm going to be working on today, and that's creating 10 TikTok accounts for our podcast, because there's obvious scientific proven data that it just works to post at high volume, especially if the content's good. And I believe our content is good. Bro, that's something we got to implement in the things that we want to grow, like our podcast, all the songs that we believe in. Like, I'm going to create multiple TikTok accounts and literally post to all of them and see how that goes. And start there, because, bro, like, posting one measly little video, it feels like a measly little video. Like, it don't feel like enough. But if I post it 10 times, then it's like, here, like, I'm serious about this shit. Go Like, this is something I believe in and I love, just like the music, just like our podcast, just like your music. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm
And I
saying?
hope people listening to this feel the same way, because I'm so passionate about this, because I there's two more concepts that I that are super relevant too, that tie into almost the psychology side of the consumer. And this is, if so there was a study done, and it said that for a consumer to actually take action on whatever it is that's being promoted, there has to be 7 different touch points. And a touch point is just them seeing the video, hearing the song for a split second. On average, a person has to see it 7 times for them
Wow.
to go interact with whatever they're looking at. And so you take that concept into your approach when you're marketing as well. It's like, why the heck aren't you posting 7 different forms of content of the same video? Like, that's just cancels out that little, like, that
Wow.
number that people have to see 7 times, which it makes sense, bro. That statistic truly makes sense. And now that I'm aware of that fact, if I see someone post on social media once, say I'm scrolling and I see a song that an artist posts, and it's my first time seeing it, I might hear the song, be like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, um, 2 seconds later, I swipe. But then a couple days later, I see the song again. And then all of a sudden, they're like on my Instagram feed in the Reels section too. And then when that number starts to get closer to 7, I'm like, hold on, this song's actually kind of good now. And then I pull it up on Spotify, and it's a really good song. So I'm throwing it on my playlist. And there's that factor. And then there's also the freaking this thing is, I don't know why it has to be a thing, but it is, and it kind of sucks as someone who is trying to grow. But when a bunch of people, if you look at a video that's good, the song's good, the content's good, you go to the comment section and there's no comments, it makes you want to interact less. On average, typically, for the majority of people, they see that your video has 200 views, 8 likes, 0 comments. Even if they're fucking with the song, they're probably gonna skip past it. But if they open up that comment section and there's even just 3 people saying, yo, this shit is fire, bruh, like, I love this song, they are more than likely to comment based on seeing other people's opinions validating their own. So that's another
Wow.
very important concept that you have to be aware of, because people, if you have a good song and you're posting it and you're not getting comments, people are still liking it. But once you get a little bit of traction, you start to get a little fan base that comments on your videos, or you start to get like random people commenting, it snowballs like crazy, because people realize that, like, they might like it initially, but then they realize that other people do. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to be a part of this little like niche that just found this small artist.
Yes.
And they feel like they're a part of a community. And that's another thing that you have to take into account, bro. Once you start building that small group, it's going to grow exponentially, dude. Like, truly.
Bro, people are funny too, because there is such a flock mentality. There just
Mm-hmm.
is. A lot of people don't have the courage to be the first person to comment because their image, or because they're going to be judged by this social media thing, right? With all these, like, a lot of it comes down to image and self consciousness and all these different things. But, bro, you're so right, man. There's so many people that truly do like something, but aren't brave enough to just say it and be the first person to say they like
Right.
it, you know? And a lot of people do need that first person to say it, so then they can be like, oh, I like it too, da da da. And then, like you said, bro, it just, all of a sudden there's 26 comments all saying they like it, and that's so crazy. But again, it goes to show, like, I'm learning so much right now. And bro, the fact that on average it takes 7
7, bro.
times for someone to actually click through on something. And when you say that, I think about it for myself. I'm like, how many times does it take for me? It's like, yeah, bro, it's probably about 7 times. And to me, that's insane. I don't like, that's just like a social media thing that feels like a newer thing. But bro, it's real. So just posting one, because look at this. This is how I break this down. I post a video on my Instagram, my TikTok, whatever, about a song that I'm really excited about. I post it once. I am missing the turnover on all the people that actually might end up liking the song from the jump. I'm not even giving those people a chance to click back through it because I'm still in their face.
Right.
They don't even have a chance.
They already forgot
to go and like it. They already forgot. Bro, they moved on. They listened to it. They're like, oh, this is cool. Swipe. That's it. Oh, the next thing they saw was cool too. Swipe. It's getting lost in everything. But if it's there 7 times, 10 times, 15 times, they're constantly being reminded that this is a cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
The person believes it, and then it starts to convert. It doesn't even start to convert hardly ever until the 7th time.
Crazy.
Bro, that's a mind-boggling statistic to me. It's like, oh man, I should easily be posting at least 5 to 10 times things that I really like, because I'm not even giving the people a chance that could like it a chance to freaking go listen to it.
And another thing, yes, you're not giving them a chance. Like, that's another good way to look at it. But another thing too is when you are in front of these people's faces, it is showing them that you, the person who made the song and the content, is excited about it. And if they can feel through the screen that you're excited and believe it's a good song and has potential, and you're posting it a ton, people are going to gravitate towards it more for that fact. That is something they might not realize, but that is taking place in the background. They see that you are dedicated, you are posting, you are in their face all the time, that they're going to be like, oh, like, he believes in this song so much to post it 7 times. Like, maybe I should listen to it. And then they give it on that 6th try or the 7th try, they listen to it all the way through. And maybe they let it repeat one more time on Instagram. And they're like, oh yeah. And because that's another just psychology thing that just takes place too. Like, you as a content creator, you have to believe in it. And you have to be genuine and promote it like crazy. Because if you don't fully love whatever you're making or whatever you're promoting, people can also sense that. So you can post something about your song 7 times, but if it's not something you really rock with that much, like, people aren't going to resonate with that energy. Like, it has to be something that you genuinely love and feel good about posting 7 times. Because then the people are going to be like, oh yeah, he's really truly into this. Like, he loves it. So I'm going to listen to it and love it too, you know?
Yeah. And bro, the benchmark hasn't really changed throughout the years. If now posting the video 7 times is like printing it to CD, it's like, bro, nobody was going to print something to CD if they didn't love that and go sell it on the corner, you know? And now it's not just posting once, it's championing. Oh, I went for the word again and I couldn't say it. Bro, what is that? That is just, I don't even get that. But bro, you feel me? Like, what is that? Bro, posting just once is not gonna it's just not gonna yield the results that us as creators are looking for. The quality, the consistency, and the quantity and the volume is what's going to put it in the people's pockets that need it, that really need it. It's going to get to those people that are fiending for it and they didn't even know that they needed it until it's in their face that much. And, I think that's a beautiful place to leave this here. It's like you just need those things, man.
One last thing I'll say to kind of wrap it up for everybody listening, whatever it is that you may think about promoting or sharing with other people, doesn't matter what it is. If you love it, it deserves to be heard by other people. Period.
Go crazy with the content. I'm going to get out of my own way because that's all it is my mind saying, oh, but I can't post that much. It's weird. Whatever. That's such BS. You know what I'm saying? And it's never been a more perfect time to go crazy on social media.
Go crazy!
Now is the time. Go crazy.